This is how somebody with superpowers handles grief.
Questions ain't been answered. Come on, man.
Nah, come on.
Bring out the questions. She's been manipulated, abused as a child. That is trauma layered upon trauma upon trauma. If you experience trauma, you go into fight or flight mode. She is in complete fight mode at the moment.
What is reality?
Is reality socially constructed?
Always wanted to see X-Men with Avengers to see how, you know, this...
It's a crossover we've all been waiting for. Come on.
So, do it. Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. It's your boy, Chosen Wizdom.
And it's your girl, Divergent Curl.
Yes, sir. And today we are going to discuss and break down WandaVision episode 5, baby.
Yep. It's called On a Very Special Episode ...
We've missed because we've literally just watched this.
Yeah.
And going to talk about what we've seen. So there's going to be things we've missed. If there are things that we have missed, please, you know, let us know. And I think the children are about, I don't know, 3-4 months old now. So the babies have grown a little bit from when we last saw them. And Wanda is having trouble getting them to sleep, essentially.
Like any new mother.
Exactly. So we start off the episode like that. And funny enough, like always, who is there to interrupt? Who is there to help her out?
Yeah. Agnes.
Agnes.
Yes.
Agnes seems to pop up a lot now.
Yes.
And we've had our theories of who she is and who she might be. She seems to always be there to help out.
Yes.
So she's a very convenient character. I mean, I've already said that she's one of my favourite characters in the show.
I think I know some people have speculated that Scarlet Witch has fragmented even her own mind to some extent. And there's a possibility that even Agnes could be a fragmented part of Wanda's mind.
Yeah, even Vision was asking certain questions about her and prodding, and he was curious because he was thinking, what the heck? She's conveniently here with the doghouse and all
there
these
to
things.
babysit before they've even told her that they've got babies.
So that was quite interesting. The kids grew, I think, 10 years. So it seems to us that the kids have powers, you know. That's quite intriguing. And I'm thinking to myself, the part where she tried to get them to sleep and she was using her powers and it wasn't working, that made me think kids just repelling her power and it's
combating against
exactly
her.
So
because it kind of reflects parenting. A lot of new parents and parents in general with like, I try one thing and then the kid does something to counter what I've just tried and I'm trying to get the baby to sleep, and we saw that kind of just literally play out in a magical way.
Exactly. And we've all been there when we've been told you can only get this when you're, I don't know, 15 or whatever. And, you know, they just have the luxury to just be like, okay, well...
Now I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm 15 now, baby. So, yeah, that was quite cool. That was quite cool to see. We also know that Geraldine is fine, people. It's okay.
Yes.
No broken bones. Wanda protected her when she threw her out, which is quite good of her. Thank you, Wanda.
Yeah.
So Geraldine's fine. And she also realised that Wanda is not just changing what you can see, she's actually changing reality.
Yeah.
So in the Hex, as we're now calling it, which is quite ironic since she is Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
So we're all in this Hex, she is changing what is real. And, you know, I mean, Geraldine's clothes that she's wearing, it's still bulletproof. So they knew that whatever went in changes, which is quite cool.
Yeah, so what she went in wearing adapted itself to what Wanda merged it with. So she had bulletproof flares. Just like the Bee Gees wanted. They always wanted it.
Oh, man.
I also thought it was really interesting that in the conversations that Monica's having at S.W.O.R.D, she's talking about the fact that there's pain in there. It was kind of excruciating. The grief, the pain that Wanda is experiencing. Everybody seems in Westview to be experiencing that when you're in there to some degree or another.
So, I mean, if you're going to deep it, what does that mean? Does it mean that she's ensuring that everyone experiences her pain? Is that her torturing people? If I have to experience it, so do you.
Or is it more like hurt people?
Hurt people?
They hurt people. They don't mean to, but you're hurt and the fallout from your pain kind of spills out around onto others.
Yeah.
And in this case, normally it's just the people around you, your close people, but this has affected so many people, like thousands of people.
Yeah. I was going to say it also leads into the point that I made, whether this is all premeditated or whether it's just purely reactionary. Because I did say that if she's conscious of what she's doing, and this is all planned and premeditated, then it makes her a lot more cynical. You know,
Absolutely.
it makes you have a bit less sympathy for her than you would have had before if this was totally reactionary. But I think the shot where it was shown how she took Vision's body 9 days ago, it told me that she planned this. No matter what happened, she was going to create this world. That is how I interpreted it. Maybe you guys might interpret it different. She's a bit more cynical than she's letting on. It's that conversation that she had with Vision. You know, Vision said, "You can't control me like you can the others." And she responded by saying, I think, "Can't I?" Or "Yes, I can," or something along those lines. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, Wanda, okay. You know, that is, you're up in the levels now. You're showing your true colours almost.
Yeah.
That scene was quite interesting. But
I slightly diverge from you that I think her whole thing was reactionary. It's a trauma reaction. You have a reaction to the trauma you've experienced and you dissociate, separate yourself from reality, which happens to a lot of people. Happens in general. You just daydream slightly in the day, but hers is very extreme. She's dissociated herself, and in that dissociated state, she went and took his body and created the world.
But at what point does it continue to be reactionary?
That's it.
You know, you can sympathise with her, and we all can, you know. But at what point do you stop?
Yes.
Well, maybe you should never stop sympathising, because you should always try to understand people. But at what point does it cross over to, okay, these 1,000 people have had enough now.
They're in pain.
They're in pain. You know, like
your pain is causing them pain.
Yeah. Come on, Wanda. Enough is enough.
But you got to take it all the way back. As they did in that quick 2-minute scene in S.W.O.R.D. where the guy was explaining the backstory. She's been manipulated, abused as a child, tested on, experimented on, transformed into something else, parents murdered, brother gone, love of her life dead. That is trauma layered upon trauma upon trauma. To heal the core of her, that is going to take some kind of deep work and support. It's interesting to see her talking with her sons around that scene with the puppy.
Yeah.
Because she was vicariously
reflecting, wasn't she?
Out loud, yeah, exactly. Saying to them, we shouldn't manipulate reality. We shouldn't change things. We shouldn't bring things back to life just because we miss them. And we shouldn't age up and run from this pain. You have to sit with it. She's talking to herself in a way.
She is. And you know what's also scary? Like, this is how somebody with superpowers handles grief. Imagine we all had superpowers like that. Ooh. Flipping heck.
Kind of like
that Homelander. Oh, Homelander.
Oh my God. That guy is crazy.
Lord, that guy. We digress. Crazy. And to see the end bit, who turns up?
Quicksilver, my guy, American Horror Story legend.
I was confused. I was thinking, what the heck? Do you know what? It was interesting that Wanda said to Vision, this time it's not me.
Yeah.
This time it's not me who's interrupting this important conversation.
Yes.
How?
I know.
And is she lying?
Yes.
Or is she not lying? How? Darcy at the end said she's recast him. Her brother, which is pretty cool. But it's interesting that they recasted him with the guy who plays Quicksilver in the current X-Men. So is there going to be a crossover? And
come on, guys.
If there is, how can they do it? Are they going to do something like they've come from a different universe?
Ooh.
Are they going to do some multiverse thing?
Which is the next movie that this leads up to, the multiverse of madness.
Because that's how it could make sense. It could make sense that he's still her brother, but he's her brother in a different universe, right?
Yes.
Where X-Men exist, and you know,
yes.
And in this universe, Avengers exist. So are we now going to combine? Is this a perfect way to combine universes?
I was also wondering if the missing person is this guy that's been recast as her brother, because somebody would have reported. Surely.
It could be. He could be the missing person.
In this universe, but he's still Quicksilver in another universe. We know that many different versions. We have doppelgangers in different universes, and it could be way out there, or no, actually, it could just be, like you said, the two universes are going to combine, which I think is more likely.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just guessing.
I'm hoping so.
It would be fun.
It's about time.
It would be fun. Let's be honest. Before I was an Avengers fan, before I was a fan of Captain America and Iron Man and all these people, I was an X-Men fan.
Yes,
like X-Men was one of the first things that introduced me to Marvel.
Yes. as
and
kids.
I've always wanted to see X-Men with Avengers to see how, you know, the explosion of characters and the interaction, and it will be just insane.
It's a crossover we've all been waiting for. Come on.
So do it. Just do it.
And bring Gambit into it, please.
Yeah,
Come on.
we've had
we
enough.
need to see Gambit and Rogue, that story told.
I've had enough of not seeing Gambit.
I know.
I'm tired of not seeing Gambit in any X-Men.
He has been in.
He has been. But
he needs his own story.
On,
he needs to be brought in properly. Come on.
I know we're digressing here, but we just have to make this point. Like, I'm tired of it. You know, one thing I thought to myself is, what is reality, really? That is a big question, though, guys, right? What is reality? Because, you know, some people can accept the reality that's presented in front of them and not question things. And then some people could just think outside the box. What is reality?
Is reality socially constructed? There's a lot of argument that we socially construct together, collectively, realities. And that's why there's no one particular reality. We all have different lived experience.
Exactly.
And we still are thinking, like, what's going on? That whiteboard, those questions ain't been answered. Come on, man.
Nah, come on.
Bring out the questions, Jimmy. What's going on?
Jimmy Woo.
And you know what? Some of his behaviours and his mannerisms were so suit going
Jimmy.
into Wanda's vision, going into that 60s and 70s.
He's one of my favourite characters, along with Agnes. Do you know what scene was also good? I loved it. The scene where they were talking about her power. Because even I said, if you go check our earlier videos, I was talking about the fact that she is one of the only Avengers that really stood up to Thanos. And in a one-on-one battle, who knows?
Holding her own.
Who knows? She was holding her own.
Fully.
And they also mentioned the fact that she's one of the strongest Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've underestimated her power.
They have,
that guy.
yeah.
The guy, there's always a guy. I'm going to just call him the guy. There's always that guy that underestimates. And then why do you have to go and manipulate Monica and send in the drone and use her? She's already been hurt enough. People taking advantage of hurt people as well. We're seeing
corporate
so much.
guy.
Yeah.
He's more corporate. He just wants to get the job done. He's just coming at it from a whole different perspective. And, you know, his perspective is also quite true. This woman has taken these people hostages. We have to take her out. So
he's calling her a terrorist.
I mean,
it's that argument.
It's the argument, but you have to be open-minded because what she's doing is not good.
And people are terrified. That
it is,
what
and she has
said.
powers. You know how frightening it will be to have somebody with superpowers who's just taking out their trauma in the whole town.
Especially, we don't know what happened to the beekeeper yet, actually. What if she's actually killed him or harmed him?
So the scene where Wanda finally emerged and she finally showed herself in her Scarlet Witch form. That scene was just great. I love that scene. It was quiet. It was dark. You see her dark red outfit. She was slow, methodical, the way she walked. And you can sense her gravitas, you know, you could feel it.
Yeah. What I find interesting as well is if you apply that to trauma, she stepped out of her bubble of safety, back into reality. Her guard was up physically and literally. And we saw her be very cold, calculated, and threatening. Which, if you experience trauma, you go into fight or flight mode. She is in complete fight mode at the moment.
Definitely
but she didn't actually... She could have killed that guy.
She could have.
She had all the guns on him. She told him it's a warning.
And we saw the hex turn red.
Yes. She's going to get her name.
So that's it. That's it, Scarlet Witch. That was quite pretty to see.
It was.
Pretty. What a word, right? Pretty. Vivid, visually amazing. It was just... You know, very cool to see the hex change colour. Basically, stay the F out or else. I don't know, man, guys. Next episode, this is hotting up.
Yeah, man.
I knew something was going to happen this episode and we weren't disappointed.
No. Wow. The crossover of all crossovers. This is... Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong, people? Have we not been waiting for X-Men to come together with Avengers the way we were waiting for Spider-Man to enter this universe? They have to sort out all the legal trash. What if the crossover, I'm thinking of it the wrong way. What if Quicksilver was going to take Wanda out of this reality into the mutant universe? The whole accent mystery has been explained.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just a cover inside Westview. Inside Westview, she's got an American accent to fit in, to blend in.
It's okay, guys. We can all rest now.
Yeah.
She still has her accent. The ninth wonder of the world has been answered.
In the last episode when we were reviewing, one of my things I clocked onto was Vision seems slightly separate from Wanda in the ending of episode 4. And this episode just confirmed he is separate. He's obviously been reanimated by her, but Vision himself, his logical thinking, that part of him still exists. So he's acting as a a divergent opinion for her. He's reflecting back to her.
Oh, I see
more.
what you did there. I see what you did.
Okay, guys, now it's kind of over to you, and we have some questions for you guys, and we're really, really curious about what you think. So without further ado,
how do you guys think it would have played out if Wanda didn't back down?
in that scene with Vish at the end,
Would they have fought? What would have happened?
has your perception changed of Wanda, especially now knowing that she's gone against Vision's wishes? He had a living will. He said he doesn't want to be used as a weapon. He didn't want to be reanimated. And even in that scene where Wanda did back down, he was telling her, this is not what I want. You're hurting me too.
Yeah.
So has your perception changed of her?
My perception of her changed throughout that episode.
Yeah.
You know, I kept having to evaluate her decisions and try to rationalize them in my head and connect with her.
What are your thoughts on the kids? What role are they playing for Wanda, or what purpose are they serving? Especially if you think about that scene with the puppy when the puppy's been found dead by Agnes, and that whole scene played out with Wanda externalizing that conversation with the kids. Bearing that in mind, what role do you think they're actually playing in that world for her? I just had a thought. When Wanda said, I didn't do this, earlier on in the day, she was talking to the twins about her own brother. I wonder if they have been able to...
No,
that would be drastic.
No, come on. And what do you guys think is going to happen next? We've read the comments on the last reaction that we did, and we've been warned by many of you guys that things are going to heat up.
Yeah.
And this is just reaching the boil.
Bubbling.
Bubbling.
Like this.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, so what's going to happen next? You know, this brother...
It's DT Melody Sharky P, and does it make you
Oh,
rock?
yeah.
Come on, man, I'm not... What am I...
We're loving it. We're loving it like that.
Bubbling, come on.
That's not the words though, man. Get out of it.
When he ad-libs on the set.
Oh, but we're probably going to cut that out. But yeah, good episode.
Yes,
we
guys.
we loved it. I hope you guys liked the discussion that we've just had and the little breakdown. Comment below, like we've said. Let us know your thoughts. Interact with us. If you guys can subscribe, then we can interact with you even more.
Yep.
Let's create this little community where we can talk about shows like this and, you know, relate them to life and have discussions and chill out and talk about movies and music, whatever. Talk about anything and discuss anything. So let's create a space where we can, you know, have diverse thoughts and diverse opinions and not feel ashamed to share them. So subscribe below, guys. Let's get this community running.
And don't forget to turn on notifications, and they'll let you know every time we post something, because we are delivering weekly content.
Yeah, we are a new channel. So watch this space. There's more content to come. If you like the kind of discussions that we're having,
Come join in
and build something that's fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We really, really appreciate you guys. Press the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.